Hello everyone, how are you? So today we're going to be discussing Just Jazz. She's a content creator. She's from New York. She has four children. She's probably like in her mid 30s or late 30s. So I just want to say this before I start. I want to just say that I have a really bad toothache. So if my words sound like jumbled or mumbled, that's the reason why, because I'm in pain right now. But I still wanted to be consistent and make a video. So here it goes. Yes, today we're going to be discussing Just Jazz. So here's a little backstory on Just Jazz. Just Jazz has a 13-year-old daughter that's been running away for the past 2 months or whatnot. The 13-year-old daughter was going around saying that her mother is mistreating her, and that's the reason why she didn't want to go home and she just wanted to be with her little boyfriend and stuff like that. She was lying to authority figures and social workers, saying that her mom is abusing her and she don't want to go home because her mom is mistreating her. But come to find out, she just didn't want to go home because she wanted to stay out past curfew and she wanted to be with her little boyfriend. So yeah, that's the backstory. But one thing I admire about Just Jazz is that um she tried to put her shoes. I'm sorry, she tried to put herself in the shoes of her 13-year-old and tried to remember what it's like being a 13-year-old girl and how she was boy crazy also. I really admire that about Just Jazz because as parents, some parents forget what it's like to be their child age, like in a positive way. They forget what it's like when it comes to negative stuff. They quick to say, "Yeah, I was 13 before, so you can't get over me," this and that. But they forget to realize they don't know what it feels like. They forget about how much they forget what it's like to be a 13-year-old when it comes to like in a positive way, like trying to like sympathize with their child. They forget what it's like to be, that child age and whatnot, and what it feels like to be that child age. They forget that part. So that's one thing I really admire about Just Jazz. And me myself, I always said that I was going to try my best to remember what it's like to be whatever age my child is. When God forbid they give me a lot of problems, but I always told myself that I was going to try to remember what it's like to be my child's age when difficult times come, so that I could try to solve the problem and try to be understanding and stuff like that. But throughout the videos that I watch of Just Jazz, I know it took everything in her power and some to have patience with her daughter. And I really admire the fact that she didn't give up on her child. She tried to take her child to therapy. She tried to get other people involved. She tried to use resources from the city to help her child. She like really, really put her all into her child and tried to understand why she wanted to run away and do stuff like that. Recently, her 13-year-old daughter, did come back home, and her 13-year-old daughter was basically very remorseful for running away, and she realized that it's not what she thought it would be, and it's not as fun as she thought it would be, because she had to constantly look over her shoulder because she was on the citizens app, the little girl, and the little girl was saying how every time she seen a police officer, she would be like, paranoid, thinking that they're looking for her because she's a runaway and stuff like that. And the fact that she couldn't wake up to her brothers and sisters, and how she was basically uncomfortable because she was in somebody else's house. And yeah, she basically regret running away and stuff like that. But yeah, and Just Jazzy seems like she's very relieved now that she has her child and back in her household. And the little girl basically realized it's not what she thought it would be. And yeah, it seems like the little girl learned her lesson, and hopefully she did. And Just Jazzy, when her daughter was running away, she did try everything in her power to like convince her daughter to stay at home, and to convince her daughter, like, she tried to convince her daughter not to make any permanent decisions based off temporary feelings towards that little boy. And then the little boy mom was basically saying she don't see nothing wrong with Just Jazzy daughter, teenage daughter, spending the night at her house, and it was causing a lot of conflict because Just Jazzy, of course, wouldn't want her daughter spending the night at a 13-year-old boy house and being laid up with a little boy. But the little boy mom didn't see anything wrong with that, which was weird. But come to find out, the little boy mom was on drugs and stuff like that, and basically, the little boy mom clearly didn't care as much for her child Because if she didn't, she wouldn't be, letting a little girl spend the night at her house, knowing that the little girl could possibly get pregnant, and then that could make things a whole lot harder for her son and for that little girl. So knowing that having a little girl spend the night at her house was in the best interest of her son or the little girl. That says a lot about that little boy's mom. But my Jazzy Life, I really respect the fact that she didn't use corporal punishment, even though a lot of her subs and people in her comments was telling her that she should use corporal punishment and that she should just give up on her child and let the system take her child and yeah, just give her child away. Even though technically you can't even just do that because it's like child abandonment. You can't just if your child acting up, you can't just say, "Oh, take them." You can't just go to DHS or whoever, CPS, and be like, "Oh, my child doing this and that, take them." By law, you can't do that. So, parents be thinking they can do that, but you can't. I don't know if it was a time where you could just drop the kid off, and if they giving you a hard time and say you don't want to take care of them anymore, but you can't at the moment do stuff like that, or you will go to jail. And I know that because that's what just Jazz and my Jazzy Life is two different people, by the way. But Just Jazz is from New York, and she has, I think I said this in the beginning. Just Jazz is from New York, and she has like four different kids. I mean, four kids, and she's like in her mid or late 30s. I recorded this topic more than once, so that's probably why I'm like all over the place and don't remember if I said this already because I had to record it over again because the sound wasn't working, or I thought the sound wasn't working. But yeah, just Jazz is from New York and she has four kids and she's like in her mid or late 30s and she's light skinned. I'm just giving you both of them light skinned, but I was just giving you a description so y'all can go check out her channel and see who I'm talking about. But I really admire Just Jazz because she has a lot of patience, and I feel as though she mixes like soft parenting with a traditional way of parenting. And I feel as though she really be trying her best. And I can only imagine how hard it is to deal with teenagers because I have a 9-year-old son and it's stressful. So I can only imagine teenagers. But I really feel as though she be trying her best and she tries to really understand her kids instead of just giving up on them and just putting them to the side and just worried about herself. She really tries to pour into her kids and try to, lead by example as a mother is supposed to, especially when they have daughters. It's very important to lead by example. And I really feel as though Just Jazz really tries her best to be the best mom she can be. Nobody is a perfect parent, but she really tries her best to be the best parent she can be. And I really admire that about her. But yeah, that's it. And I'm gonna try my best to make a video at least once a week or before like every 6 days at the latest. I'm gonna try to make a video, but I just be tired because I do take medication. The medication I take makes me tired, but I'm going to try to make a video at least every 6 days. I'm gonna try my best because I have to do the thumbnails and stuff like that. So I'm going to try my best to keep being consistent. I feel as though I've been doing good, but the real test is when I go back to work. When I go back to work, the real test is going to be if I can still do it. But once I go back to work, most likely I'm going to be doing vlogs. I'm going to in my car and I'm going to be doing vlogs. So, yeah, I'm going to still do commentary because I like it. But most likely I'm going to be doing vlogs. But I'm probably not going to edit the vlogs because editing takes time because I just really want the watch hours and like more subscribers so I can get monetized. So most likely I'm going to be putting up vlogs, but it's not going to be edited because I don't have time to be editing because I have two jobs. But yeah, I'm going to try my best to keep it content out there. So please like and subscribe, and please don't forget to like on your way in or way out. And thank you everybody for supporting my channel by watching.